Hey, yo, it's me, Pops Van Marmalade, and you're watching the Comics-Related Madness Network. Huh? So come get some. CromCon. CromCon.
Your favorite podcast is Critical Blast.
Hi, this is Tim TK, host of That Silverline Show on Tuesday. Join us at 11 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Pacific every Tuesday night as we discuss pop culture and the joys of making comics.
Hi, I'm Dean Zachary, host of Silverline's Wednesday Wham, where we go beyond politics, beyond calculation, and beyond the big two. Join us each and every Wednesday. Don't miss out.
Hi, I'm Roland Mann, and I host Silverline's Silver Sunday. Join me every Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern as we make mine Silverline.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Silverline Wednesday Night Wham! Hosted by Scott Wakefield!
Every night, every Wednesday. Thank you for that introduction, and hello, everyone. I missed you all last week. If you're not watching, what I say doesn't make any sense. So thank you for watching. Thank you for joining us. It is Silverline's Wednesday Wham, and I'm here with our cast of characters, and I will be moderating, I think, what will probably be, and if I know our crew, a lively debate. The topic tonight is the best and worst movie adaptations of comic books, and I will assume we have a very long list of the worst because we have a very opinionated group of people here tonight. We are not milquetoast and mealy mouthed. We have very strong opinions about our art and how it is turned into motion pictures, good and bad. So stick with us. We will get into that conversation. Let's introduce ourselves. I will go first, and so I'm not last on your minds here. Scott Wakefield. It says in my name down here somewhere, and I am the co-creator and co-writer of a upcoming Silverline title called Steam Patriots. It is a steampunk American Revolution. I'm also handling publicity for Silverline, and you'll be able to see some of our creatives from the current projects on other shows here pretty soon. I'll try to give them a shout out a little later. And I like to have everybody tell where we are because we're all over the country, and I'm in Western New York near Buffalo, and that's me. Go ahead. How about Brent? You're down there for me, so hello. I don't know where you are on anyone else's screen. Brent, go ahead. Thank you.
I'm Brent Larson. I'm here in Orlando, Florida. I'm the creator and writer on the book Kalis, which actually, what can I say about Kalis? Issue 3 is all done. Issue 4 is now underway. I've seen some sketches. They're pretty freaking awesome. So,
Thank you, Brent. And let's go, Tim. You're over there for me.
I am Tim TK. I am the associate editor at Silverline, so I help run the website and our content scheduling, and I run the monthly article series called Craft, where we have people talk about the craft of making comics. I'm also the writer of the title Wolf Hunter. Not sure when we'll have that for you, but we do have art that's been previewed and circulated, and issue 2 has been drafted, and all that fun stuff.
And it looks really cool. So hopefully that comes soon. Thank you, Tim. And Tommy Kablam, go for it.
My name is Thomas Florimonte Jr. I've been a comic creator for 3 days now. Oh, no, more than 3 days, about 30
3 decades.
30 years or so. But I've done all kind of things, mostly inking in the industry. I've worked for Marvel and DC and pretty much everybody at one point. But right now, and I've done a lot of work for Silverline in the past. Actually, it was Roland and the guys that I broke in with into the comics. So that was pretty cool. So I've done some cat and mouse stuff way back in the day of the original run, and also did the Demon Tales, the original run, and it looks like I'm going to be doing the new Demon Tales when it starts in next year at some point. But right now, I am currently inking the book Trumps, like we talked about. It's based off of the card game, Not Our President. So it's about. We can go to the Kickstarter and read a little more about it, but it's about the warring factors of the different. There's 4. There's the cards, right? So it's the warring factors of these. The different card suits. Thank you for you guys just staring at me. And one of the I think it's the actual clubs right now are in charge, and the other people are trying to take over. Is what's going on. I believe.
Why is it clubs?
Well, maybe it's the hearts are in charge, and the other ones are trying to take over. But it's all done except for a couple of covers that we got to get colored up, and I'm inking one tonight. You guys will be able to see it.
According to
and I'm in Orlando, by the way.
And I'm in Salem, Oregon.
Thank you. According to the Kickstarter synopsis,
you read it.
The Kingdom of Clubs wants to overthrow the Diamond Kingdom. So that's where the story is presently, with the Trump card being high. Who's in charge? So let's go to Rory. Go for it.
Hello, I am Rory Boyle. I'm just the co-creator of Steam Patriots with Scott.
Just.
Was that Paul? Was that Paul who does that? I'm just the colorist.
Just the
colorist. You can find me anywhere you can find Scott. Currently, I'm located in Jacksonville, Florida for the next 6 months, but then I'll be back up in the glorious north.
Way up north. Okay. And C. Michael, you're next.
All right. I'm C. Michael Lanning. I'm an artist for Silverline. Currently working on a project with head honcho Roland Mann about some clumsy superheroes called the Rejects. And when I stream tonight, you'll be able to see me working on the page on it.
Very cool.
Yes.
Did I say where I was from? I don't remember.
You didn't. Go for it.
From the clouds, obviously. Baton Rouge, Louisiana.
Baton Rouge.
Louisiana.
Nice.
All right. And I did not get to meet Haley last week, so this is my first interaction with her. Hello, Haley.
Hello, Scott.
Go ahead and introduce yourself.
Yeah, so I'm Haley Martin. I'm in the Daytona Beach area of Florida, and I am doing all the art for new comic that Roland is writing, and it's bear with an H instead of an R. I know he pronounce it's like kind of like bear. Like yeah, I'm not sure entirely how to pronounce it, but yeah, and it's it's about like
It's like a Jersey bear. Bear.
yeah, it's like living stuffed animals, kind of like Toy Story, Winnie the Pooh kind of thing. So
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Cool. I think that's everybody. Thank you, everybody. And if you're watching, we'll say our names again. We have to shamelessly promote ourselves because that's how we put food on our families. So let's get into this. As I said, I'm really excited about this because the crafting of comic books and being into comic books, just like anything, you put your heart and soul into it, and when someone takes that thing that you've fallen in love with, or that you've been maybe even like in some cases, some of our guys here, especially Roland and Tommy, they've been maybe involved in the creation of some of these, and then somebody else takes it and turns it into just a steaming pile, or they turn it into just a glorious creation that you're so happy about. So we have strong opinions, and as usual, I feel like the odd man out because I've not spent my entire life into comic books. I read quite a few in my younger and teenage years, and then got away from it for a little while. And then, to be entirely honest, with the movie world, I had to just decide because I've got kids and a spouse, and I had to just say I'm going to stick with the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and I can't commit brain power to DC or X-Men or really much else for these action movies, because most of my life for the past 17 years has been Disney and those sorts of films. No, okay, I know Disney is Marvel now, so I mean like Disney proper. And so I'm going to try to guide this conversation and keep things civil. But we are talking tonight about the best and worst movie adaptations of comic books. Who wants to go first? Let's start on a high note. A best. Do I need to?
I got kind of a weird one. It's not many people may realize. So, as we talked about previously, manga are sequential art. They are comics, just from a different country.
Mm-hmm.
And the movie Old Boy is based off of a manga, and that is that's a fantastic movie. And
dude, that movie rocked me.
And I've read a bit of the manga. I haven't gotten. I do want to do like a full read through, but from what I can tell, it's very faithful. Which is interesting because it seems like a very hard story to tell on screen. There's a lot of cerebral elements, but they translate it very well.
You make a great point, and maybe we'll talk about that some more. The struggle with taking really the written word, or the written in the visual of a comic book, where you can see into people's thoughts or that sort of thing. That's always a struggle to make that just visual, because narration and that sort of internal monologue doesn't really work, and the exposition has to be filmed somehow. So that's a good point. We can talk more about that. So Old Boy was based on manga.
A manga.
And
that's my best.
That's your thumbs up. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Do you wanna withhold your worst for now, and then we'll let somebody else throw out a best?
Yeah, let's roll through more. Yeah.
All right, Rory, what do you got?
Oh boy. Okay. Well, I prepared an elaborate Excel spreadsheet timeline of all the original comics. No, I'm just kidding. It's Val Kilmer's Batman.
That's your best?
That's my best. And I have an almost outlier that should have been Nick Cage's Superman.
The bad movie that would have been.
It would have been. Wait, you're trolling us.
It could have been.
That was.
Why do we always keep picking on Nick Cage? Every episode's about Nick Cage.
Well, I talked with Roland about this, but the end goal is to have Nick Cage do a 5-second Make Mine Silverline sneer to put in our content.
He'll do it too.
He will.
He'll do it.
Yep.
So which
If
Nick
money
Cage
is
do
anything
we
else.
want? Do we want crazy Nick Cage or do we want sedate, earnest Nick Cage?
Both.
Isn't there
Let him do
National
both.
treasure.
one?
Yeah.
He freaks out and then he goes back to.
Yes.
Actually, 5 seconds he could do both.
Yeah, no,
Right?
it's we want adaptation to Cage where he's somehow both at once.
The evolving Pokemon Cage or something.
Did we inform Haley of the Nick Cage obsession? And we're doing all this without John here. So
Yeah, I saw some
Oh.
in the chat earlier. Like, man. There's some
So-
strong opinions here.
John loves Nick Cage.
and mostly I don't think any of us have really very strong opinions, except that John does. And we really just like to just
Dig the knife in.
He's gonna come back with a vengeance now.
You
Yeah,
don't
he's-
scare me, John, wherever you are.
Oh, he's coming.
John.
President
here.
Nick Cage's fan club secret.
I think he is. I think he's lying all this time.
Not only that, he's a client.
Rory, why do you love the Val Kilmer Batman?
I think it was just one of the highlights of his career, and I think he can just play any weird character. And in truth, Batman is a weird character.
Okay.
Any superhero that has to maintain two identities is de facto weird.
So
And then the safe
Now-
scene where he's just holding it with his feet. It's impressive.
is this a nostalgia thing too? Like, are you a little too
Yes.
young for the Michael Keaton and that? And like, he's your
Well,
Batman?
no. I think Michael Keaton would have been my Batman because it would have been 90s. Well, when was the Val Kilmer one? That was 90?
97.
97. Okay. Was
The-
Keaton before that or after that?
Yeah,
Before.
Before that. Okay, because I was born in 87, so I would have seen all the good ones and the bad ones.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, it sounds. I mean, seems like Val Kilmer just like chronologically fits like
Mhm.
Next Generations is original series is before my time, so Next Generation
Sure.
was. There's a nostalgia, so like.
Yeah.
Okay, and I can't argue the Val Kilmer Batman that was Riddler and Two-Face, right?
Michelle Pfeiffer or was that Keaton? No, that was
No,
Keaton.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Val Kilmer, yeah, it was Tommy Lee Jones as Two-Face and Jim Carrey as Riddler, right?
Yep.
And then that's when they introduced Robin, Chris
O'Donnell.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, and he stayed through right to the
Superman and Robin.
Mhm.
the George
Which
Clooney.
sunk a lot of careers. Yeah.
Yeah.
What is Chris O'Donnell doing now? Because if they made a Nightwing movie,
He was on NCIS
NCIS,
Los Angeles.
yeah.
that's
Yep.
right. Okay.
Is that still on? I'm not
I think so. I don't know.
I think
It-
so.
The
Him and
original
LL Cool J.
NCIS has been on for like 38 years,
And that's
The original one, yeah, I love I
Yeah.
still love the original ones.
and that was a spin-off of Jag, right? That's
Yes.
pretty
Yeah.
good for,
Yeah.
for a spin-off.
it outlasted the spinoff by a while.
What's that?
So it outlasted the spinoff by a while now.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
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 Original.
Mhm.
Okay. So and then we're just gonna forget the other movie you mentioned and move on to another best. Brent, what do you got for best adaptation?
Adaptation. All right. I'm going to go for the low hanging fruit, but I can't help it because I loved it so much. The Avengers movie is the most fun I've ever had in a movie theater. And
Yeah.
the thing I loved about it so much was how right they got it. Like,
Yeah.
I was seriously stressing before that movie came out. I was telling people that I was like thinking of getting my church to start a prayer chain that it would be good. I was that freaked out. I was like, this just could be so bad. But Joss Whedon got it so right that he made everybody love it. People who had no idea, they thought the Avengers were like this weird British couple that carried umbrellas all afterwards. They knew who the Avengers were. And it wasn't because they had to dip down into their inner nerd. It was because they loved movies. And these guys were just so fun to watch. And it was funny. And I just remember thinking, I no longer have to apologize for being a comic book nerd. In fact, I can tell people I knew about it before you latecomers even showed up.
Oh, that's such a hipster thing. Oh,
One of the coolest things about it was that Joss Whedon also made it for the nerds.
Yeah.
Like I remember watching, it was just a very small scene. Do you remember? It was a very fast scene where they were fighting in New York and Cap catches his shield at the same time Thor catches his hammer. I was like, Joss Whedon did that for us.
Yeah.
I remember, and I was just like, it's a little hard to say, but I almost cried when that movie was done.
You know you did. Don't pretend like you did.
I was like, I could run 10 miles after I left the theater. I can't remember ever being that happy, and it was because it was such a good adaptation.
Yeah, it was.
I'll
really
say
well
one
done.
more quick thing, because it reflects on my worst choice. Joss Whedon made it a great movie without feeling like he had to go so closely to the comics that the two mediums are deeply distinct. Anytime one tries to copy another one, it doesn't look good. And in this case, he made it a great movie. He didn't make it a great comic that was on film. He just made it a great movie. And I want to shake that man's hand. He was my hero for like a week, and then I went and found another hero. But anyway, so I love the Avengers.
Yeah, Joss Whedon, anything he touches, I'll say almost anything he touches, is gold. From Buffy to Firefly. I mean,
Angel.
Did anybody ever watch Dollhouse?
Dollhouse, yeah.
Dollhouse was amazing.
John, hi.
Oh, man,
Hey,
he's here.
guys.
And then he had to follow the money.
Yep. I'll also say it's not a film adaptation, but Buffy, also a comic book.
Yeah, after the fact, it was.
Yep.
Yeah.
Which is,
even that was done well.
Yeah, it was very well. Kind of reversing the engineering, but very well done.
Yeah.
And they also did a with the comic. Was it Frey? That was like a future Slayer. Was that her name?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
And Joss Whedon wrote it. So
really?
Yeah. Great.
So am I the only one that thinks that all those the Buffy TV show and all that stuff just sucked? Am I the only one?
I never watched it and never saw an
one.
episode.
Yes.
I will admit there are moments where it's just cheesier than Gouda, but it's very Gouda.
It's so cheesy it sucks is what I'm trying to get at.
Not Gouda, it's great.
Look, I think it might be because you remember the was it Christie Swanson?
It was Christie Swanson, yeah.
Movie. So,
I think actually I thought the movie was better than the stupid TV shows. I just didn't like the TV shows. Every time I see it, I get vomit goes.
The best thing in the movie is that it had the best death scene ever when Pee Wee Herman got killed. Yeah, oh my god, that was just the best. But
which Sutherland was it?
Which one?
Which Sutherland was in the movie?
Donald.
Donald? Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
He was the Watcher.
Yep.
Wow.
Should we introduce this person that just popped up into the thing?
I'm gonna just a second. Before we just like we do every time, I did want to get off the Avengers topic. John, in just a moment, we love you, but Brent just gave us a heartfelt, teary-eyed endorsement of the Avengers, and I agree. It touched me. I saw it in the theater. I know, John, you've seen like the Star Wars is like all told like 87 times in the theater. I saw the Avengers 4 times in the theater. I've never gone more than twice to see a movie in the theater, and usually it's because I went with one group of friends and then I go with another group of friends. But Avengers, I had just been transferred to Alaska, and I had only been there for a few months, and I still had a car back home. And I had training in Virginia. Sorry, circuitous story here. But I flew home to Buffalo, and Rory was stationed in Buffalo. And we went and saw Avengers and just loved it. And then I gave Rory a hug and see Rory. I'm off to Virginia, and I took my car and went through Pennsylvania. And the next evening saw it with my cousin in Central PA. and then got down to Virginia.
Be honest, you went and saw it by yourself all these times.
Well, okay,
And you just liked it. You can.
I'm a little fuzzy on the
by yourself.
details.
I
The
really don't
Avengers
have friends, so
bring
yes,
family together.
it's all imaginary. And then down in Virginia, I had Coast Guard training, and while I was there was another buddy from Buffalo, but he was
Another buddy that you
Coast Guard. Yeah, another
movie
friend. His
with.
name is
Nameless.
Danny, and we saw it there with a bunch of Coast Guard guys. And then on my way back through, I stopped at my cousin's again in Pennsylvania, and saw it a fourth time. So yes, Brent, loved it every single time. As far as like just a superhero movie goes, it was so good as far as a movie and staying true to the characters. But you're right, not trying to make a comic book into a movie, but having the spirit of the movie and the characters and that whole world. I loved it. I think with what has changed superhero movies, we'll joke about all the old ones pre special effects and how they're so lame, but the special effects, the first X-Men movie, when Sabretooth pushes the tree over in front of Wolverine, and he smashes something, he goes smashing through the windshield and flies out onto the snow, and then gets up, and then they kick the tar out of each other. That's like one of those, like I like the X-Men movie, the first one. It's just like this is a superhero movie. Like now they're smashing things and kicking the tar out of each other, and like superheroes, not like dorky guys in spandex, that kind of pretend and you can't really blow things up or smash buildings. So that scene or whatever sticks in my head, because that was like, now we have these special effects to make them good.
I think it was just Hugh Jackman.
I'll stop. And Hugh Jackman, he's
Yep.
Anything he does.
Anything he touches is gold.
What was that? Kate and Leopold? Was that Kate and when he?
Oh my gosh! Yeah.
I'm impressed you remember.
So it was Hugh Jackman.
Yeah. Yep. Okay. All right.
With an early Sabretooth too at that. With Lee Schreiber.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Was in the two. So
he was the second Sabretooth.
Yeah, he was the second
Yeah,
Sabretooth.
you're right.
They were in that, I think, before the Wolverine movie.
Origins?
No, Kate and Leopold.
Oh.
Oh, yeah.
Lee Schreiber was Sabretooth and Kate and Leopold?
Yes.
I was
That
thinking
would make a better movie.
I missed
Best
that one.
Name a better crossover. I dare you.
There's something missing from this. Sabretooth! Oh my god!
Time travel movie.
And then when they duked it out, and it was
Right.
Man, that was heavy.
There was
Hey,
something
Brent.
missing from Finding Dory. You know what it was?
Some Sabretooth action.
Now that Disney owns Marvel, we need to put together some crossovers that you wouldn't expect between.
Start submitting on change.org.
Yep.
Start a petition.
Two. Yes.
Okay, all right. Our newest addition to our crew tonight, our always charismatic and always entertaining and always opinionated,
And late.
John.
Thank you.
And
Yes.
late.
Yes, and always late. Actually, I was at the store the other day. I bought a lanyard. It said, "Sorry, I'm late. I didn't want to come."
Oh, that's good.
So yeah, I've been wearing that at work, and I'm like, oh, maybe I shouldn't do that.
John, go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hey everybody, John Medic, creator, writer, Sniper and Rook, editor at Silverline. All around nice guy. Just ask me, and for always late.
Not always.
Where you from?
Unfortunately, Illinois. So Midwest, born and raised.
All right. Born and raised. So John, that you apologize for being late. I wasn't even here last week, which I did just as a lesson, because the topic was balancing life and work, and I just wanted to show you all how I couldn't do it.
Perfect.
Last week was just an awful Wednesday, and I'm watching the clock, and Roland's checking in with me on Facebook, and I said, well, I just passed the point of no return. There's no way I'm getting back in time to be on the show. It was just one of those days, and we all have day jobs. Hint to all of you watching out there, if you want us to not have day jobs, just
buy more comics.
throw us mountains of money, and we can all live off our comic book dreams. Let's see, Haley, you've been quiet. You're the new person. I'm sorry. We're just running roughshod.
Rattling on.
What is the best comic book movie adaptation of a comic book, in your opinion?
I mean, that's hard because I totally don't have like the comic book knowledge of like all you people. Like, I didn't grow up reading like the Marvel and DC stuff. I mean, I don't know how like faithful things are, but I know I have things I like. I've got my Star Labs shirt on.
Yes.
From the Flash, which I am not up to date on. I kind of lost interest, but the first season was the best. I really enjoyed that. And I mean, I don't know like how faithful it is to the comic books, but I thought that was a really good show. But one thing that's cool about like the movies and shows is like for the MCU, probably my favorite Marvel movies are Guardians of the Galaxy and Ant-Man, and I knew nothing about either of those before, like I'd never heard of them before the movies came out, and so it does introduce those characters to a whole new audience, even if I enjoy those, even if I don't know anything about the source material.
Yeah, a lot of people didn't know who Guardians of the Galaxy was.
Yeah, I was gonna say that was it does kind of go to show the benefit of taking risks, because I remember the conversation for people who had read Marvel comics when they announced Guardians, and we're all excited for what the MCU was doing, and we all turned to each other like, are they sure? Did they think it through?
Really, they're gonna do this? And then it was phenomenal. It was really good.
I read a review, and the title was, "Did Marvel just troll us with Guardians of the Galaxy?" Because it was a phenomenal success. And Haley, I love that you do have that you're here. And honestly, I do not have the comic book chops that some of these guys have. I've missed a lot of it, and like I said, I had to have a very narrow focus because I just didn't have the bandwidth to just dive in. Yeah. But I love that you know what you like, and I don't want to put you on the spot, but what about Ant-Man and Guardians of the Galaxy appeal to you, not coming with these notions of what it should be?
Can I interrupt for a half a second? Did we Haley? Did I fall asleep? Did you not say where you were from and what you were working on?
Yeah, I'm from Florida, like the Daytona Beach
That's
area.
right, you did. I am so tired working on this Kickstarter thing that you did say all that. I apologize. Okay, I shut up. Rewind 30 seconds.
We're not letting Tommy sleep until the Kickstarter is fully funded.
Oh God, I still got this
stretch goal.
Yeah. Okay. So
I apologize. I'm sorry.
Oh, that's fine. So you asked like, what about those movies appeals to me?
Yeah. Just like movie making, or like the plot, the character. What do you like? And it doesn't have to be deep. I don't need you to talk about the themes behind the whatever. Just what do you like about it?
I guess like because both of those, like the Guardians of the Galaxy and then Ant-Man, are both like really humorous. Like they kind of don't take themselves too seriously.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like that can bring other people in, because like people who are not into comics at all might watch like a more serious comic book movie and just be like, oh, this is too nerdy for me or something. Right. But it's kind of like accessible to everyone without being like dumbed down, I guess.
Oh, that's the reason I love Ant-Man. And the way I describe it is it's a comic book movie. Of all characters, Ant-Man, he's a very 60s kind of comic book character. I don't feel like he's timeless, although he has been around the whole time. He's just Ant-Man, and
he's so small.
It works 50, 60 years ago, 40, 50 years ago. It just it's kind of corny now, but like he's in a suitcase falling from a helicopter fighting another little guy, and the cell phone's got the soundtrack, and he gets hit by a toy train, and I loved that it's goofy, and you're right, it doesn't take itself too seriously. And the line where he asks, well, are we going to call the Avengers? It's like, why doesn't everybody do that?
I think that's
Yeah,
that's where
good.
Marvel hit their stride. Was like, yeah, we can make these funny. Like the
Yeah.
first couple were funny, but when like Thor
Yeah.
Ragnarok came
Yeah,
around, it
that's
just
really
took
funny.
off.
Yeah.
So like, oh, let's make them all funny.
No.
Yeah, they do a really good job of mixing the tone in each, and they're comic book movies. They
You
should
know,
be fun.
and with Ant-Man, what I really liked, well, the movie was great. His sidekick is hilarious. Who talks really fast. But talking about different people and different characters, when Ant-Man showed up in Civil War, and he's all like stoked to be Captain America, and he's shaking his hand and he's babbling on like a fanboy buffoon. It was that hit me as an awesome moment in like the Marvel MCU, because you had the very funny Ant-Man with a very serious Cap now interacting, and it fit and it felt real. So it was really cool that they were able to bring the comedic movie in with the serious stuff, kind of like they do with crossovers in comics, like in the real books all the time. It was nice to see it work live on screen.
Well, and it's cool that not that he's a throwaway character, but he was the reason why the last Avenger movies, he's the one that figured out to be able to do the time travel. It was just the sheer lack of him not being around because he was stuck, right? And then he made it back, and so he's great. Yeah.
John, why don't you tell us your favorite first? Just go. We're going to stick with the good right now, and then we'll go off.
All right.
Into the hatred.
Since I was late to the party, can I get a recap of who already did what?
We've got.
So we're just doing the best
Boy
first, right?
Yeah, we're doing it. Old Boy is Tim's manga adaptation. Rory loved the Val Kilmer Batman.
And
Brett had Avengers.
And wait, go back.
No, Brett. Rory liked Batman. Haley, you heard, and where are you?
All right, so if I'm gonna have to go with my favorite, Captain America: Winter Soldier.
Yes.
So
that's a good one.
That's my favorite Marvel movie. That's my favorite comic movie. Period. I felt like they were firing on all cylinders with that. My favorite Captain America storyline ever was the one where Cap basically got pushed out of his uniform, and not like what happened over with Chris Evans and Twitter this weekend. Totally different, pushing out of uniform. Come on, that was funny.
I don't know what happened.
Oh, yeah, don't Google it. I'm not shutting down this channel like happened before, so never mind. Anyway,
we'll put it in the Slack later.
But anyway, so Captain America 332, the government basically said, hey, we created Captain America, we created the Shield, you're out of ice and you need to come back to work for us. And he's like, yeah, I'm not working for you. And so he quit. That's where John Walker got it. That's where US Agent comes in, and that's going to be tying into Falcon and Winter Soldier TV show, which is going to be cool. So like the whole Captain America is kind of on the run and doing the vigilante thing. That was like my favorite storyline ever. So from 332 to 350. I love the interaction, and I liked him out of uniform and like in a civilian mode, and him and Scarlet Witch, him and Scarlett Johansson, Black Widow, in the mall getting chased, and I really liked that Agent Carter's what's that? Her granddaughter was there, Agent 13.
Yep.
So love both of those actresses. My favorite part of that movie absolutely would be the fight scene in the elevator, where he's like, "Before this begins, anybody want to get out?" And he just did what Cap did, and that was just the most astounding movie. And I just bought 2 copies of it the other day at a video store that's going out of business. So I've got a DVD and a Blu-ray sitting here on my dining
Blockbuster
right now with me. So no, not the last one. Family Video. They're
Oh wow.
Pretty much all of their stores. So Yeah. Yep. So that is my vote. Captain America, Winter Soldier.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong. Wasn't there a comic book crossover of the British Avengers and Captain America?
Oh, like Captain Britain?
No, like Captain America with
Like,
the British
Yeah.
Avengers.
Yeah, I forgot what they're it might just be Britain Corps. But yes, I believe so.
I just have a vague recollection of that.
Yeah, because that ended up giving us this whole weird. As I remember, there was like a splash of Captain America and Captain Britain like clacking heads.
Mhm.
Then I super into that.
Oh yeah.
That sounds
Yeah.
familiar.
We'll have to look that up. Okay. We'll put a pin in that one, Rory. Tommy, have you told us
I believe so.
your
Oh.
your love, your movie love, Tommy?
Me? Oh,
Yes.
I was thinking. Well, I had a joke when I was going to say the Jay and Silent Bob 2 movie, Blunt Man and Chronic. That made it really good. No, I love those guys. But no, I was going to say, everybody knows I'm a big Spider-Man fan. So even though the Miles story in the Spider-Verse was great, I really loved how Peter Parker was actually Spider-Man in that movie. That's been the best Spider-Man. Our Peter Parker Spider-Man, what we know as Peter Parker, I think that is the best Spider-Man that we've seen so far. Now, all the other ones have been pretty good, especially the new kid. But Peter Parker in the Spider-Verse, I mean, as I kept, my wife kept looking at me. She goes, "Why are you tearing up?" I'm like, "Because that's Spider-Man. That's really Spider-Man." They actually made Spider-Man. It's an older Spider-Man, but he actually did pretty good. So that's my favorite superhero, beside the Blunt Man and Chronic, Jay and Silent Bob number 2.
That's always been something that they've been hard to get, is Peter Parker's humor
Yeah.
in these. And yeah, absolutely, Spider-Verse is probably the closest it's been.
Yeah, I thought they did a great job.
Hmm.
I'm the only one, so okay. You're gonna make me mad.
Thank you, Tommy. Who have I missed? Let's see. See, Michael, you got any opinions on what's your favorite?
I
movie?
do. It's a older movie. I saw it in a movie theater, so I'm kind of dating myself. And I know John has seen it because he's actually has mentioned it a couple of times. But
Now you're dating John.
my favorite comic adaptation, and still one of my favorite movies, is The Crow.
Oh, I was thinking about that the other day.
And I watched it again the other day just for this, just to see. And to me, it still holds up, which is really hard to do.
That's
Since
cool.
it came out
Can I make a guess as to
94.
why you watched it?
because of this. Why? No, why I watched
The new Batman trailer. Because when I first saw that with the Twilight guy in there, I'm like,
oh no, I didn't even think of that. I would never ever defile the Crow.
And he's not the Twilight guy; he's the Harry Potter guy. Don't let
That's
my wife
right.
hear you
But-
call him from the
and
Twilight.
the Lighthouse guy. That was a good one.
No. So Rory, that movie. Okay,
Don't nobody
that's
watch
not a
that.
comic book movie. Well,
Nope, nobody watched that.
I did. It was terrible.
The Lighthouse.
The Lighthouse. It's got
Every movie about a lighthouse is
It's-
just about the guys in the lighthouse going insane.
what
Every
it's
movie.
Willem Dafoe and Cedric Diggory.
There you go. You know what it is.
What is his real name?
Robert Pattinson.
Robert Pattinson.
Batman.
Bruce Wayne.
Has no
Batman.
Batman. No one else has seen The Lighthouse.
I've been meaning to watch it. I heard it's a good parody.
Watch it by yourself.
Okay, yeah. So I'm sorry, this is not a comic.
Watch
book
it with
movie.
all your buddies that you watch the Avengers with.
If you like art house movies that don't have to make sense at the end, then The
Yeah.
Lighthouse might do it for you.
Perfect.
It's
Yeah.
Lovecraftian. It's kind of Lovecraftian.
Oh, one of my favorite
Oh, just like
movies
the new
is
one?
A Scanner Darkly. So movies that don't make sense are just.
Oh,
a good one,
gosh.
too.
Okay.
Right.
But does something happen in that lighthouse? The lighthouse is like nothing happens. And believe me, I
Well,
like.
from what I
like
understand,
that
that's the
movie.
point. Is they're making fun of art house movies.
It's
He goes crazy. They go crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You
they
get to
just
hear
go crazy.
Willem Dafoe talk like a pirate. That's
He
kind
does.
of
Yeah.
like,
He does.
So Brent, have you seen it? That scene. So the visuals, like if you're talking like visual storytelling,
Oh,
pretty
it's-
incredible. Like how
yeah,
things are
cinematic.
framed. There's a scene, and it's a low angle, and there's low light on Willem Dafoe's face, and he has like this 3-minute tirade, and he's screaming, and it's really pretty
It's
impressive. I mean,
impressive, yeah.
but the rest of the okay, all right, that's not a comment.
no, wait. Now I have to say this. My friends and I went and saw that movie, and there's a scene where Robert Pattinson is sitting and talking to himself, and he says, "No, it didn't happen. I didn't do that. I did not." What's funny is the day before we had watched The Room.
Yeah.
Where he comes out and says, "I did not hit her." Yes, I did not. Oh, hi, Mark. And they burst out laughing in a movie that is a complete drama and is very sad and depressing. And they just started laughing. It was awesome.
You were the only ones in the theater, so it didn't matter, right?
Actually, it was pretty cool. It was awesome. I think there's a lot of people there. So
I was so excited. The whole like the Coast Guard nautical lighthouse
Right,
thing. I
U.S.
thought,
Lighthouse Service. I was like, oh, this will be fun, nostalgic. Ooh, this is fun.
In the Facebook chat, Nita Taylor Lanning says, if we're throwing animation in there, the Max on MTV's Oddities was their favorite. The Max was an Image comic, started in '93.
From Image, Sam Keith.
Yep. Yeah. And MTV did a animated adaptation of it.
And he had the little izzes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's impressive.
All right. Yeah, that works. Thank you.
I've got that toy downstairs if you want me to. Oh, that was a couple of weeks ago. Never mind. That was a different string.
Just every week, Tommy has a different toy behind him.
That's right.
I should have asked this as a bit of housekeeping. Tim, do we have a review?
We do not.
No. Okay, so we're just going to roll right through. We're at about the midpoint of our show. If you're watching, thank you. We appreciate this. We appreciate your support. We are talking tonight about the best and worst movie adaptations of comic books. And there's a lot of them, and there's plenty of them. And we are a very opinionated group of people, as are most people who are into something. If you're into woodworking, or if you're into comic books, or you're into vintage cars, you're going to have an opinion. You're going to have an opinion on your craft or your hobby. And comic books is what we do here. And while we just talked about our favorite, I didn't talk about mine. I'll tell you in just a second. We talk about our favorites, and those are kind of easy, but we are pretty critical, I think, and that's fine. And I think most of us can enjoy a movie, but we can also pick it apart to the finest degree sometimes, and still enjoy both sides of it, which I think is a lot of fun. I know I like that, and I know who to keep my mouth shut around. My sister cannot stand when I enjoy a movie, but then I'll say, and she'll shut me up, and she can't be anywhere near me when I do it. But
have y'all ever walked out of a movie?
I have.
Yes.
I don't think I've ever actually. No, I've done that.
So I walked out of Sky Captain in the World of Tomorrow.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
I walked out of Casino.
It was.
I did too. I was saying the same thing.
Walked out of Casino.
Casino sucked.
Sky Captain in the World of Tomorrow. I actually have the DVD in there. Just in case you want to finish it. It
can be remade.
Well, I did see the end because I was waiting for other people in another theater, and so I went to the bathroom, got some more food, walked in, walked out. It was so bad. So I saw the end of it, but it didn't make any sense to me, and I didn't care. So that just...
I mean, it wasn't Avengers that you were watching for the 20th time.
with all my friends.
Could have went to go watch it with a friend.
That's right. So they were there watching Avengers, and you're like, I can't see Avengers for the 15th time.
No, Sky Captain, I was watching by myself. Yes.
Oh, I guess that yeah. Which movies
That's
have you
it.
ever walked?
Yeah.
Have you ever gone to a movie by yourself?
Yeah.
I've gone to a couple.
Not often.
It is
Scott will just
Going
sit
to-
harumphing through it.
going to the movies by yourself is such a wonderful experience. I first did it my second time watching Star Wars Phantom Menace. Yeah, I guess that was like self-inflicting pain. I had time between my two jobs, and there's a theater there. I'm like, I'll be a dork and go to the movie by myself, and it was great. I didn't have to explain anything to anybody. I didn't have to like shush anybody. Oh, it's great. I enjoy going by myself, so I could just focus on the movie and not have to explain, talk, be considerate. You know, it's like if I want to get up and go pee, I don't have to have my kid go, really, again?
Yeah.
We have no ladder. I mean, you know, it's like,
Can
dude,
you
I gotta
pause
go.
this?
You know? So yeah, and no, it's good. If you haven't gone, you know, nobody cares, and it's wonderful.
So I have tried to take, ever since my kids have been old enough, I've got two older and a young, kind of a gap between number 2 and number 3. And the two older, we've been pretty good about, once they've started caring, going to see the Marvel movies together. And then last summer, was it last summer or the summer before that Far From Home came out?
Mm-hmm.
And they went with their friends. They were all their teenage friends, and it was ho-hum Scott, boring old dad.
Oh no.
Who can tell them more about this world than they ever care to know.
You kids.
Sunrise, sunset.
Yeah.
Might be why they left him at home.
No, actually, kids, what happened was
I do that to my all the time. I say, no, that's not how it happened in the real world. That's what really happened.
in the real fake world.
In the real fake world.
I had a parent like me when I was your age. Oh.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
you know, the books all have titles and numbers. It's like Bible verses, you know. I am referencing Captain America Psalm 168, you know.
Yeah. Captain America Volume 2 from the 98 refresh.
Not the retcon.
I remember the first couple of weeks that I moved to Orlando and I was doing caricaturing. We worked at a place called the Point. It's just the big mall, outside mall thing, and I was working a location, and that's when the Blair Witch Project movie came out.
Ooh.
And everybody was like, "This is so scary, go scary." And I'm like, "I'm gonna go see this." And Thomas, you can't go see this by yourself. And I'm like, "Yes." And I went and saw it. I'm like, "Get this." So I think I did see that movie by myself.
I
think
still
it's
have
the
never
last
seen
movie.
that one.
It's pretty neat. It's a found footage movie kind of thing.
Take some seasickness pills because you're going to walk out with motion sickness.
Oh yeah.
I took my wife, my wife who was my girlfriend at the time, and she had heard nothing about it. We just decided to go to the movies, and she's like, "What is this? What's going on?" Because it looks like found footage, like real people doing this. Yeah, so I had to explain it was
the first viral marketing.
Right.
Well,
it really,
you know,
it was.
It came out and stuff, but down here anyway in Orlando, the girl that played, I can't remember the name of the role, but she was in the I forget what commercials. She was on TV commercials and stuff. Yeah, I forgot the name of the eatery place. There's a place because they're all from this area or something like that, and she's been making. Yeah, she was on commercial, and they kept going, "No, she died.
No,
this
she's
is real."
dead.
And I'm
Yeah.
like,
Oh, yeah.
"No, she's an actress and she's making these commercials." And like, well, there's an old commercial. I'm like, "No, these are brand new for this. You guys are morons. This is a movie. If this was actually a snuff film, you think they'd be playing it at the movie theater?"
Right.
People were just freaking out about that movie. It was pretty good though. I liked it.
I liked it. It's one
For
of
what
my
it was at the time, yeah, it was good.
They followed it up. They had a like an hour special. I don't know if it was Sci-Fi Channel or
probably.
Yes, where they were doing all of the behind the scenes, or not behind the scenes, but as they were trying to make it seem like real. Yeah, that was great. It was really cool.
If anything, the marketing was the most impressive thing about that.
Yeah, that's true. That's so true.
The most impressive thing was how little it took to make
it.
and how much it cashed in.
Yeah.
And they never made another movie.
No, they
I don't
made
know.
3 of
No,
them.
I know.
Yeah, there was a couple.
I'm just making fun. I know.
After those.
Yeah.
It's like
They
the
made their million and walked.
But was it the same people that made the second one, or was it did the studio just take it?
Yeah, it's like the second one was like a movie. You remember that one? I was so excited about it. We went and saw it. I'm like, oh, this is a movie. This sucks. Why
it's
would-
it's
why
like
would other show?
it's like the last season of Game of Thrones, where it's a real shame it never got made.
Well, they had that one that came out a couple of years back, and it was found footage. It was like somebody's brother. It was the girl's brother. It might have been the girl's brother going to look for her.
Right. Well, to get us back on topic, Amy from Facebook
Thanks, Tim.
asks, what do you all think of V for Vendetta? That's the only title where I've both read the book and watched the movie. And I have actually not read the V for Vendetta comic, but I like the movie.
The Watchmen movie.
Same.
Yeah.
I like it.
The comic was, I thought, a little better, but the movie was pretty good. It was decent, and it had some great talent. So
yeah.
I did not read the comic. I did see the movie. Again, visually, I love how they use color and they use framing and they use the way it's laid out. It has a comic book feel.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
To it, but not. I'm going to still keep saying Brent's line. They didn't make a comic book or a movie be like a comic book. They did a good job of using the themes and that feeling for it to be visually comic booky. And I liked the plot, and I thought it was well done. I guess that's all I have to offer on that.
I've got even less. I haven't read the book, and I have it on disc, but I haven't even broken the shrink wrap yet. So,
All right. Some of the best monologues from Hugo Weaving.
Yes,
Hugo Weaving's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He can monologue pretty much anytime he wants. I think he's
that's
Elrond or.
It's too bad that we didn't get him back in the Avengers Endgame /
that'd
Infinity.
be good.
Yeah. He was an awesome Red Skull.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
I will say I'm glad that they decided to have something where we found out what happened to Red Skull, because he just kind of disappeared for a long time.
Yep.
So
What about the Watchmen? Y'all like the Watchmen movie?
That's such a long movie.
Have we segued into the worst yet?
Oh, okay.
I think we still haven't gotten to Scott's best yet, have we?
No. We kept interrupting.
Yeah.
So we'll go to Watchmen. It's okay. It's not going to surprise you because I've talked about this a lot, and I do have a couple favorites. But Iron Man #1, and that's the one because, and it is nostalgia.
Robert Downey Jr.
And I
Robert Downey Jr. With all my friends. 15
it was Terrence Howard. That was what I wanted to see, and
it was pretty good.
Rhodey. But Iron Man 1 was, I thought, Robert Downey Jr., perfect Tony Stark. I thought the special effects, the suit, his story arc, the way they brought it to current times with him building the suit and making Yinsen and not Ho Yinsen and incorporating him, and they stuck to it. I love the whole when it came out and you could watch the trailer either on YouTube or something like that in 2008. I would replay the scene where the suit goes like supersonic. I just kept clicking back and playing that scene, and every scene where he's got the suit, because I love this I love everything about Iron Man, and it was just like they're doing a movie and they're doing it well, and it just blew me away. And I had that same as Brent, that feeling with Avengers with Iron Man, just oh my gosh, it's Iron Man, and I loved every bit of it. Now, Iron Man 2 and 3.
Where is my bird? I need my bird.
I thought Iron Man 3 was a great story progression for Tony Stark.
Yeah,
they could have called it Tony Stark 1. That was well done. But they jumped the shark with the suits. I thought they cheapened the suit by having a zillion of them and having it do everything, and
They had to keep up with the timeline of every other movie.
I think it's kind of weird that they did kind of they jumped up to where comics were now, because Iron Man 3 was based off of the Warren Ellis graphic novel Extremis.
Yep.
And by that point, we already had done Iron Legion and I think several other Iron Man arcs later. So the suits had been explained in comics time.
Right.
Yeah.
But the way it was in the movie, I don't know.
Right.
Something about the movie, it was too much.
Yeah, there wasn't. I was listening to a review of the new Marvel's Avengers game, and someone brought up a critique that is for all comics to other medium. Something that does kind of get lost in the sauce for people who may not be comics fans is for comics, because of printing limitations. They're used to a lot of happening in between the panels.
Yeah.
So you're used to 22 pages being like a year's worth of time almost at certain points. So so for some of us, we're like, it doesn't need time to read. It's fine. Well, we can make do. Take that to a movie or whatever, and there are some moments where it doesn't translate well, and we're like, why are there all these suits and what are they doing? Where's the justification?
Yeah.
Yeah.
In Iron Man 2 I liked, but I feel, I don't know, for me that seems like a forgettable movie in the whole franchise. And I didn't like that they just rehashed the guys like Iron Man 1 was he fights Obadiah Stane in Ironmonger, the big suit, and then Iron Man 2 he fights the robot suits. It's just kind of like the same.
Yeah.
It's almost, it's like the second or third or fourth Death Star. Like, come up with another.
So kind of like Airplane 1 and Airplane 2, pretty much the same movie.
Yeah, can they put more thought into the plot of Airplane 2, please? I was expecting more out of that.
Oh my! Scraps is a boy dog.
Okay, let's transition into, and here's
actually, you know what? We could transition that back to the Chris Evans Booger.
What?
Oh Lord!
Never mind.
Okay, I missed that. Okay, sorry. Okay, we were talking about what did I put a pin in?
We're up on the worst.
What, we're gonna go to the worst, but there was something else that, whatever. Brent, worst adaptation.
Okay, thank you for choosing me because I have to go. I will say it is the Watchmen movie, and it illustrates how not to do a comic book movie, which is they took amazing source material and they almost verbatim tried to just film it and call it good. And they used the same dialogue and they used the same pacing at times. And it made it a huge, overlong, bloated, unwatchable mess, which is just so sad because the comic is amazing. I remember reading it when I was younger and thinking, I feel like a grown-up when I'm reading this book. I mean, it made Time Magazine's 100 best works of fiction of the 20th century. Wow. I mean, it deserved so much more. But it was like they, like the screenwriters weren't confident in their own ability to write a screenplay. So, and that's what I meant when I mentioned Joss Whedon's work on Avengers. It was so good because you could tell Joss Whedon wasn't bringing to bear his knowledge as a comic book writer. He was bringing his knowledge as a filmmaker. And as a result, he knew what to leave out and he knew what to put in and he knew what to plus up. And with Watchmen, you didn't have any of that kind of craftsman-like feeling. And as a result, I just remember thinking, like, do you guys remember the very beginning of the film where they had Dylan's The Times They Are Changing playing over a montage of the original Minutemen?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That had flashes of genius in it. And it was because it wasn't in the comic book. It truncated the comic book, but better. It then made it its own thing. And as a result, it was actually a really great way to sum up a bunch of exposition in a way that was clever and creative. But then it's like he didn't feel like he had the ability to do that anymore. So he just took a photocopy of the comic, and it was awful. My wife and I watched it again recently, which I guess proves that I just love pain. I don't
Glutton for punishment.
But yeah,
what did you think about the end change? Because see, I watched the movie, I've not read the book, but I hear that the end was not even close to what the comic had.
The end wasn't
some
terrible.
People seem to like the ending better of the movie, but I don't know.
They changed the end to I think to move the story along, which frankly I'm glad they made that decision because it was a movie maker decision. So I never held that against them. And I will say this, the film is excellently cast, which again just blows my mind how they have had so much talent involved in this film. And you know, Zack Snyder went on to do 300, which was a lot of fun. I mean, he's got chops.
Mm-hmm.
Just overall, it was too much like they were trying to do a comic book on screen. And it just proves once again that you have to be a master of the medium that you're in. Don't try to copy a style from another medium and expect that it's going to work, because it just doesn't. I'm Brent Larson.
Mic drop.
All right.
I'm out of here.
Yeah, I gotta go. Sorry, guys. I really want to hear what everyone else has to say, but I got to go to bed.
Thank you, Brent.
Yeah.
We'll
Good night, Brent.
Good night.
Good night.
Later, Brent.
See you next week.
Okay, how about Haley? What's your opinion? A horribly made, a horrible adaptation of a comic book into a movie.
I mean, one thing comes to mind. I remember I saw, like, I was just flipping through channels and saw like the Green Lantern movie was on, and I have so I was like, I'll just check this out. And then like
Now
20
I gotta do
minutes later, I
research
started
again.
doing laundry because I was so bored. I was like, wow, that's serious. Yeah, and that actually kind of
Thanks,
ties into
Haley.
one of my favorite things that got me, like, because I'd never like didn't know about Green Lantern either, but then I saw like a bunch of artists that I follow were like drawing fan art of these characters from Green Lantern, the animated series. So then I watched that and was like, wow, Green Lantern's a really cool concept. I like it. So but then I heard that movie was not good, and yeah.
The thing that movie did though gave us one of the best end scenes for Deadpool. Or is it Deadpool 2?
Yeah.
Where he goes back in time. Have you seen Deadpool 2 yet?
Yeah.
Was it 2?
Yeah.
The second one where they did
Okay,
that.
I won't ruin it then, but you need to watch like the end scene of Deadpool 2. It is awesome.
Okay. Thank you, Haley. Tim. Go for it.
Yeah, so I had joked that I would mention the highlight of Ray J's career in the group chat, which is the 1997 Steel movie featuring Shaq. Which I did not go back and rewatch to take notes on, so I'll skip over that one, but just know that it is a nightmare in a dumpster fire. So instead, I'll talk about Spawn.
Gotta get more research again. Son of a.
Which... the laser disc if you want to borrow it. You can watch it.
The one that's this big, yeah.
Yeah.
I've got the actual collector box set laser disc.
Wow.
But Spawn is one of those movies where I like the character, so I like the moments where I saw the suit, and then everything else around that, I am like, okay, forget about this now. There was so little effort put into every aspect of the adaptation, I feel like. It felt like it was kind of like just a cash grab where people were like, hey, Blade's coming out and that looks like it's going to do well, or Blade did well. Let's find this property from Image. It's kind of also dark and gritty. And
yeah, but look at how much money they spent on making that thing.
yeah, and they spent so much money on it for the CG to look 10 years dated in the 90s. So
those suits weren't each one of those suits like $1 million or something?
Something like that, yeah.
Some crazy number.
It was in the math that went to that movie upsets me somehow because it doesn't make sense how there could be so much like time and money spent on something that it feels like it was a tie between a student film and a cash grab. The amount of effort was minimal, and it makes me very sad.
And I'm sorry, speaking of student films, has anyone ever enjoyed one of those Coca-Cola shorts that the students make?
Oh, the ones that play in like Regal?
Right, yeah, right before
No.
I know they're made by students, but I sound like like a jerk. I was like, it's the dumbest thing.
I know. If you want good student films, look up like the Mortal Kombat or
I was
like
just gonna say Mortal Kombat. That was a good one.
Yeah, that was good. They also did. I think someone did like a Wolverine versus Sabretooth student film, or is like or maybe Captain America.
A Batman one too. That was good.
Yeah, where they actually do very. That's what someone did like a Warhammer 40,000 student film, that's a bold choice because I doubt your professor knows what that is, but it was very. I thought it was very well done.
All right. Yeah, if there's any of those students who made a Coke movie, I do apologize. They didn't grab me. What is it? What is it about? Like not just like the movie making or the casting or anything like that, but what else? What is it about a comic book adaptation what are you looking for that makes it good, that might let you look beyond just like the cast or the pacing or the acting? What else are you looking for good
it needs an atmosphere.
Mm-hmm.
What do you mean by that?
The atmosphere, there's certain feelings or certain emotions that are triggered by stuff you read or see or whatever the case is, and it just kind of if it captures that same, like for instance, like with The Crow, you had a moody atmosphere in the comic, and they were able to translate that into the film as well. So you had the same, while it wasn't word for word adaptation per se, it still had that atmosphere there. There was still a poeticness about it. There was still that gloom, that feeling that still overshadowed it.
Was that not a generational thing too? With the goth, the punk, and like that.
Absolutely, but I don't see. That's the thing. I don't think like they keep trying to remake it. I do not think that you could remake that movie.
No,
you can't at all. No. Not today.
Didn't Eddie Furlong play in one of them?
Look, we don't talk about that.
There was only Lee.
No, that was straight to video and straight to video.
Yeah,
everyone
was that
knows.
the third one?
I think it was
that the third?
Was it the second and third one?
Wicked Prayer. I think wasn't Kristen Dunst one too. I mean, it's
oh god, she's horrible.
That was so bad.
Yep.
Straight to video does not exist.
But
I don't care.
I do agree with that. There has to be like a certain personality to it, like the emotional drive behind what. The whole reason why we like spandex heroes, even though that's kind of like, spandex man gets unique power, beats up bad guy that is mirror of self, is each one has like a different like emotional drive. So the reason why I give Venom a pass, because Venom was not a great movie, but it's passed because it has that same mood of all the kids who grew up in the 98 refresh of Marvel, which is super angsty, like, yeah, let's blow stuff up. It has that same feel where it's like, hey, we're going to go beat guys up. Let's go.
Yeah.
I kind of like after seeing a superhero movie that we know the comic books on and stuff, and you have people that aren't comic book readers that saw the movie and they go, well, Thomas, that movie, blah, 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 that was really good. And you're like, yeah, it was, wasn't it? You know what I'm getting at? You're like, that was good. Yeah. See, don't make fun of me all this time.
I think that's kind of where Watchmen failed, is because the way that Alan Moore wrote it, they had that comic book inside the comic book.
Yeah.
And it went well with the rest of the story. It kind of all made sense towards the end there. And you didn't really capture that in there. It was just really, just how the look of it was, I think, is what he was really paying attention to. And I don't really dislike the movie, but the comic book is definitely superior. I don't think it was a great adaptation of it.
Yeah.
And you're making a good point, and it goes back to like why the Marvel Cinematic Universe and why pretty much all of us agree, with a few outliers with the individual movies, they caught the feeling of the comic books, that it's a comic book, it's fun, and there's action, and then Marvel was the ones that made us really care about characters with their flaws in the comic book world way back. And they mix all that in. They make us love them, and we hate them. We're angry. There's humor. So you're right. The whole general feel of the universe, and even people that didn't read them, and we can give people a hard time that they weren't there from the beginning, but that's okay. In the end, how many people cried? Spoiler: if you haven't seen Endgame. How many people were crying when Tony Stark died?
What?
That hadn't come out yet.
I mean, when we thought we're not sure.
He got a sliver.
He's just sleeping.
That's how you tell a 3-year-old with a fish. Oh, she's just sleeping. And why did you flush up? Yeah, okay, whatever.
The biggest emotional moment in that movie for me was actually kind of a big to F you to Josh Whedon, was the when Captain looks around at everybody that showed up and he makes the statement, Avengers Assemble. That was just such an emotion, because Whedon had said he was not going to put that in the movie whatsoever. He was never going to do that. And it was just I'm glad he didn't, because at that point in time, it was such a heightened emotion. It was just great.
Yeah.
But,
I gotta say too, when Cap picked up Thor's hammer.
Yeah, that was good.
Yep.
Yeah.
And
that Endgame has some serious flaws, and I blame time travel, but
if they had time travel, they could have went back and fixed it.
Yeah, we're not ground rules. We're not going to talk about time travel, but overall, I thought that was just the perfect punctuation to the whole universe.
Well, it was excellent. When I was talking earlier about the Captain America run, that was my favorite when he quit. That's when he took on the red, black, and white uniform that U.S. Agent has now.
Yep.
Yeah. And that was the uniform, and he was going by the name The Captain. That's what he was wearing when he first lifted Thor's hammer in real life in the comics.
Yeah.
So
in real life.
See, I qualified it, but yeah, so that's when that really did happen. So yeah, that was an amazing scene. It was awesome.
I will also say one of the things that they do well in the adaptations that they steal from comics, because in comics you don't have that much time, so you have to do throwaway lines to, like, this is why the next 22 pages are not X. This is what happens. When you have Doctor Strange say, I've seen 1 billion futures, only one works. Like, why didn't it just that? It won't work. We know, it just won't work. Why can't they go back in time and change this? It wouldn't work.
Right. It wouldn't work.
Yep.
The ultimate plot hole filler.
Exactly.
Yeah.
if you're good at throwing lines, use them.
That's why the line, and I think I've said this before. Forgive me. The line where in Iron Man 1, where Obadiah Stane is yelling at that nameless scientist and saying, "If he can do it in a cave," and he says, "Well, I'm not Tony Stark," and there we go.
That's it. Yep.
Tony Stark can do it.
Yep.
There we go. Problem solved. We solved the problem.
And Mr. Lebowski is my father.
Tony.
Well, the Iron Man movies and the Thor movies are the only real reason that I like those characters, because I still don't like the comic books. I don't like Iron Man. I don't like the Thor comics. I've never, but I do like the movies, and I think they sorry, I shouldn't have said that out loud.
Exit stage right.
Yeah.
No, I'll agree with you on that, Tommy. I was never a huge Thor fan.
No.
But what the couple issues of Thor
Avengers?
that I enjoyed but with Thor, when Thor was turned into a frog, I liked that. And then when Thor went away and was replaced by Bakery Bill, I like that.
Throg.
And then there was after many years later, the Untold Story of the Secret Wars issue in Thor. And that was like it for my Thor collection.
Which is interesting. I have, so on my, in my Twitch chat in my normal streaming hours, I have a viewer who was talking about how they absolutely do not like MCU Thor because he is a himbo. He is himbo is a new media term. Just means big, strong, handsome. It means big, strong, handsome, dumb man. It's just someone is big, strong, handsome, and very dumb.
Wait a minute, dumb.
So like Kronk. Thor feels like the Kronk of the MCU. But in the comics, Thor had.
Love Fat Thor. Fat Thor was great.
That was awesome.
Yeah, but they like comics Thor because of how much more sincere he presents at times, and the fact that he is willing to kind of drop the facade of nobility when he needs to be big warm Viking dad. And he isn't always he isn't a himbo. There's more character there.
Okay.
So
I can see that. I get it.
Himbo. If there's.
If you're going to be on the internet, you need to learn the terminology.
Exactly.
What the kids are saying, what's hip and with it.
Hello, fellow children.
Their hip jive talk.
I'm gonna try to use that tomorrow, and see if anybody knows what it is.
Just slide that into a conversation.
Yeah,
Man, what a
see if it'll
himbo.
work. Yeah, he's such a himbo.
You got to start checking you for COVID-19.
But
yeah, that's right.
Yeah, no, but for the squids and any military folk, there's always that one grunt who the only thing he has going for him is that he can bench a lot.
Yeah.
But when you try to give them anything that requires like an ASAP score of like 50 or above, they're useless.
They're there. Okay. All right. So to your Twitch contributor, I am inclined to agree. Not bad. Who hasn't thrown in Rory? Have you told us your least favorite?
Well, if I can't use Green Lantern and I can't use Spawn, I'm gonna have to say Fantastic Four.
Yes,
Which
one?
Which one? Yeah.
Any of them.
The
They're all
Corman
terrible.
one, the one with Captain America, or the one that just came out with
All
the
of them.
kid from
Those.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like the kid from Ready
Exactly.
Player One.
I'm biased. I've never been a fan, but I've never thought they were done well, except for like the character of Silver Surfer in there was like the most dynamic part of the movie. The rest are all the same.
The FX on Silver Surfer were good.
Yeah.
But his like coming to like reality moment was like the best part of the movie. All the other, just the rest of the movie and all the other ones terrible.
Jessica Alba, maybe.
She's done better.
Yeah. So the first Fantastic Four, I gave a lot of leeway because I thought it set up their characters well. It was a little slow, but it set they're establishing the Fantastic Four world. Fantastic Four #2 was one of the dumbest.
Tanked it.
It was the Four Stooges, and
The Fantastic Four Stooges. Is that what it is?
Yeah.
The Fantastic Stooges.
It was so dumb. And then, because what always boggles my mind with anything like that, and I've said this before, you got writers sitting around a table. They have ideas, and they say, "I've got this idea," and no one else says that. No, that's
dumb.
Terrible. Let's have let's have Reed Richards get all their powers and then act goofy.
I think you're right. The second movie makes it because you give the first one kind of a break because you're like, oh, that's the first one, but then you watch the second one, you go, oh, the first one was really bad. Oh, damn, why didn't I? Oh, it wasn't because they were just setting stuff up. It's just because it sucked, and then the second one sucks too.
It's bad, and I did not see the most recent one because I was so upset with the first two. I'm not a huge Fantastic Four fan, but I like the family dynamic. I
Right.
think it's kind of cool. I didn't see the second one.
I just don't see how you could pull off Reed Richards' powers at all. I just don't see how that's going to be
fun to watch.
Yeah, I just can't imagine. I just can't see it.
Yeah.
The rumor,
it wasn't. You're right. You couldn't say it wasn't.
The rumor is that that Marvel proper Disney is going to do Fantastic Four again, and they're wanting to cast Jim from The Office.
Interesting. Well, did you hear the most recent casting news for the big bad? Ant-Man 3, featuring I forgot his name. Something Majors. Kang the Conqueror is going to be in Ant-Man 3, and it's featuring the lead from Lovecraft Country.
Yeah, I can't. He was also in that Alien movie.
Yeah, but
Captive State.
Yeah, so I do like how they've done their big name picks, but Marvel for the most part seems to be like grabbing guys who are just kind of mid tier at the time, who they have a lot of hope in because they want people to recognize them as their characters.
Mm-hmm.
So I have high hopes for Kang introducing something really weird.
Mm-hmm.
I hear kids like Battle Worlds. I don't know,
like Secret Wars Battle World.
Right? If we go multiverse, I feel like that's going to be the end goal. Like 6 years from now.
That would be so cool. Secret Wars was a pivotal point in my early comic reading days.
And Kane being the king of weird time travel, and like, why is he back? Why is it? Oh, multiverses are a thing. I feel like if they want an in.
So, are they both doing a multiverse? Because DC's doing it too, right?
I think DC's doing it because they have to.
Well, DC's going with some off-brand characters. Mobius.
Yeah.
I just saw that one. That looks pretty good.
But aren't they doing a thing where they bring in like Michael Keaton and all the other?
Yes.
Well, because
multiple cameos.
Yeah.
Is it Batsman?
Mm-hmm.
What's the plural?
Batsman.
In comic canon, they both have very prevalent multiverses for their big events.
It's like Batman meets Duplicity.
But I feel like Marvel's has had a better job of making it sense. Yeah.
Yeah, not only is the Michael Keaton Batman coming back in the Flash movie, Affleck is supposed to be in there too.
Yeah.
That's the only way you'll get anybody to come watch that Flash movie because what's his name? Ezra. I can't remember what his name is.
You mean the guy from Star Wars Rebels?
The one from
Ezra Bridger.
No.
Yeah, trust me, my joke was better than Ezra. Don't worry.
But the one from the Harry Potter, well, not the not Harry Potter movie.
But Ezra Miller, yeah.
Him.
He's such a moody character. I don't know why he's not in a moody role. I mean, moody actor. I don't know why he's not like that. Yeah.
I think what's his name? Gustin Grant or Grant Gustin? I can't remember.
The one from TV show.
Yes, I think he did a great job. Until they kind of went.
And I'll show my age, and of course he was in the new show, John Wesley Shipp back in the 90s. Yes. Based off of kind of like the Batman uniform, but it kind of had like that velour look to it. And oh my God, I loved the Flash TV show.
Yeah, it was great. It was good.
Yeah,
that was
Mark
I love the
was
fact that he came
back
back for the new one too. That was cool. That they brought him in.
What and there was a 90s Captain America, right? He's got like a motorcycle helmet on.
Yeah.
No. That was the
70s.
70s.
That was like Hulk era.
That was Reb Brown, who was the actor in that. And then the one in the 90s was J.D. Salinger's kid, like Catcher in the Rye guy. His kid played Captain America in the 90s. That's now out on Blu-ray. It came out within the last year or two. I got the Laserdisc on that one too. Sorry. But yeah, so that one, the 90s one, that's with the Italian Red Skull. And then that was very bizarre. But yeah, the 70s ones, those were made for TV movies.
Yes.
So that's where he had the bike and he had like the shield up front, kind of like, and it's clear with red circles and like you said, the motorcycle helmet, but it was very much a product of its time. and I'm friends with Reb Brown on Facebook.
Oh,
The actor in those
famous
shows.
by association.
Name
Yeah,
dropping.
yeah. You know, I got to tell you, man, when I was a kid, as cheesy as those things are looking at them today,
Yeah.
the fact that there was a Spider-Man on a TV, you
Yeah.
know, Nicholas Hammond, that was just awesome. And you know what? That was rope. Okay. You know, it's rope. But, you know, it was cool, you know. And then, like, Hulk, Lou Ferrigno, was cool.
Oh, yeah.
And then
He is
pushed
the
me into
Hulk.
my high school years. And then they had, like, the crossover with Daredevil, which is just in a black suit and, like, a black fencing helmet.
Yeah.
But it was cool, you know. And actually, that Thor, I can handle that Thor too, you know, because just a Viking-looking dude. But it was cool. And then last one I'll throw out there, Generation X.
Oh my God!
Yep.
Speak to my love language.
It had Emma Frost, and
That's right.
Emma Frost being played by Finola Hughes from General Hospital fame. Oh my God, I was so in love with her when I was a kid.
That's one that had Max
I still
Headroom
may
in
be.
it.
Yeah.
What's that?
Had Max Headroom in it. Matt Brewer.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah,
Was he the villain or something like that in there?
Uh-huh. And you know, so you want to tie that in. Matt Frewer from Max Headroom, Amanda Pays was like his love interest in Max Headroom. She was also the love interest of the Flash in the Flash 1990s TV show. Bam!
Woo. This guy. So I just looked up, I did a search for the 1990 Captain America. The budget for it was $10 million. Anyone want to take a guess at what the box office returns were?
One under $1 million.
10,000.
Yeah, it
Oh.
was bad.
No.
Yikes! Yeah, that's Stan Lee was producer on that, of course, and yeah, yikes.
Technology just wasn't there.
The first part of that movie was not too bad. I don't know what happened to the rest of it. It just kind of fell apart.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Sometimes though, even a bad movie you love so much,
Yeah.
you track down the laser disc, you frame it, and put it on the wall in your room. There it is.
Do you even have a laser disc player?
Tommy, I have hoarding tendencies. I got like 25 of them.
Just in case, right? Because you know they're not making
Because you're gonna
anymore,
die.
right?
Yeah. Yeah.
I love it. We haven't talked. You mentioned Daredevil, the Ben Affleck Daredevil.
Oh no, that's not the one I was talking about.
No, I know.
Oh,
I'm just
okay.
saying, we're talking about bad adaptations. Ben Affleck Daredevil.
I had no problem with that Daredevil movie. I
Really?
was actually okay with that one.
Yeah, Colin Farrell was terrible in that movie.
Well, Colin Farrell sucked. You know, but I was good with the Kingpin. I like Jennifer Garner enough. I don't even mention the Elektra movie though. I just thought it was kind of fun, you know, and him and Foggy, you know, joking around. I didn't hate that movie. You know,
After the series, I couldn't go back and watch it.
Yeah, no.
I haven't watched the series.
Ooh.
Oh, really?
Ooh.
Yeah. No cable at home. So
Did that get nixed? Is that what's going on with that?
I believe most of Marvel's property on Netflix has been nixed as part of the transition to Disney Plus.
Well, what I was reading today is Luke Cage and Iron Fist are up for there's like a 2-year where Disney couldn't do anything with the characters for 2 years after it ended on Netflix. And I think Iron Fist and Luke Cage is up first, and they're already in talks with Charlie Cox about Daredevil.
Yeah.
So, but he does not seem optimistic at all.
I read something today about what they were going to do with the Black Panther stuff.
Yeah.
Was that something that came out today?
Yeah. Yeah. His sister, huh?
Yeah, I think that's
that's probably the best way you can handle that.
Yeah.
Probably. There's not really much you could do besides just.
She's already such a
don't
great
do anymore.
She's already just such a great character that why not?
Yeah,
that's true.
Right. Yeah, don't try to recreate him.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
that wouldn't go well at all.
But I'd be interested to see if they do Punisher on Disney Plus, given the
See,
Yeah.
and that's another thing they
Yeah.
were talking about, and that's going to be a little bit longer too. But they're still looking at Punisher, so
Yeah.
and they still kind of want John Berthenol.
Just John Bernthal, yeah.
Yeah.
Bane.
So, which I think he was a great Punisher.
So-
I wasn't wild about the series though. I felt it was too slow.
See, I appreciate that they did that take on Punisher. It wasn't like the movies were like, we're going to start the movie off with a gunfight,
Right.
and that's the
I
movie.
love Punisher Warzone.
Thank you. Thank
Warzone
you.
had like no
Yes.
story, just shooting. It was
But
great.
that, but
I
that
mean, to be
reminded
fair,
you of a Punisher book. That's what I'm
Yeah.
saying.
But-
I pick up a Punisher book and there's bullets everywhere.
Right.
It's like, yeah, that's Punisher.
See, I liked Punisher when he's more in his investigative roles, or like, and we could just like lay down Worlds of Hurt, but also was,
Yeah.
he was a recon sniper. He's really good at tracking
Yeah.
people through like just anywhere. So like Punisher and Cable, friggin' great. Just time traveling, shoot 'em up buddy cops.
He was pretty cool as Shane.
Yeah, yeah.
Walking
Yeah.
Dead.
I don't think he would have been the Punisher if it wasn't for that role, actually.
Yeah.
Probably not.
So,
Um,
but yeah, the Punisher Warzone, I don't know. Everybody hates that movie, but I liked it.
I did.
Actually.
Right.
I did too.
Constantine was a comic first, right?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Hellblazer.
Oh,
all the
yeah.
time.
Well done.
Which also I feel like that movie falls into a position with a lot of people where it's like we should hate this more than we do.
I did not see Constantine.
I have not seen it yet either, but it's got Keanu. So
Yeah.
like, whoa.
Keanu.
Yeah.
I like
thought
it,
it was good.
especially after.
It's good,
John
Keanu. Yeah.
Oh my god! Like
And it's-
totally reinvigorated my my love for his thespian work.
And it's got a tolerable Shia LaBeouf.
No, there's no
Oh,
such
I
thing.
forgot. I mean, he's tolerable and he's forgettable because I forgot he was in that movie.
Hey, he dies in that movie, so they.
Oh, hey, here's a bright side.
Spoilers
he's
spoilers for
Spoiler
2003.
He's the reason I couldn't watch the Transformers film even when I wanted to
Ooh,
because
yeah.
of Megan Fox. And wasn't he in that fan film version of like some Indiana Jones thing that some fan writer
Yeah.
Oh,
like, put
that's
together or
right.
something?
Yes.
That was horrible. Nobody
Just
talks
Swear to
slapped
God.
together, sloppy editing. Yeah,
Yep.
that's the one.
You know, if you've never seen Kevin Rubio's Troops, which is hilarious as hell, that's how you make a fan film. That Indiana Jones and alien stuff, bad fan film. Bad.
Hey, he was at least decent in Fury. The
Yeah.
tank warfare movie.
Yeah.
I didn't see that one. No,
That's a good one. That's
I
good.
don't remember now.
I think his personality just bleeds through so much. And a lot of people don't like his personality, but I don't mind him too terribly much. But his personality is louder than his acting, so everybody kind of sees.
Yeah.
That's a good way to put it.
Yeah.
That's
Yep. Because he's all about just doing it.
Yeah, do it. Just do it.
Do it.
New
Brought
Silverline
to you
model.
by Nike.
Just do it. Yes.
Don't let your dreams be dreams. Oh, what? Why has John? You mentioned Keanu. Why is he having a renaissance? Is he? What brought? Is
I
it?
don't think he ever left. He's always been
No, he
around.
really didn't. He really didn't.
He went over to art films, which have always been more of his passion for a while. So he's down there. He did a bunch of philanthropy, started a motorcycle company, and people thought he was doing a bunch of really cool stuff. Like, oh, he's a really cool dude. And then he popped into John Wick, and they're like, oh, this is why we liked him in The Matrix and Constantine and all the stuff in the 90s. He's just, if you want someone to be your stoic, contemplative, shoot a million people in a room guy, he's that dude. He's also now writing a comic with Boom called Berserker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah.
I will admit the first movie that I've been back in the theaters to see was the new Bill and Ted.
Okay,
I
I was
still
gonna ask you. Anybody?
I
seen
still
it
have
yet?
at my my
Have not.
parents' house, like a Bill and Ted poster thing hanging in my basement computer room. Big fan, loved the first soundtrack, and I had fun watching that movie. It's a movie I went to by myself, My kid didn't want to go. I'm like, great. I don't have to explain shit to you from like the last.
I don't have to explain
This is
nothing to
great.
you.
I didn't have to buy him
Excellent.
popcorn or I was like, great, no COVID here. But yeah, there was myself and 2 other people in the theater, and that was it.
Yep.
But
You
it
didn't have
was
to
a
show
good
them what
movie.
the guitar playing thing. You didn't have to do any of that.
Yeah, it was good, and it was good. It wasn't world changing like Wild Stallions were supposed to do, but it was a good show.
I don't think anyone like should go into expecting it to be like a phenomenal like mind-bending experience. It's a Bill and Ted movie. It's a fun time. That's it.
The bar was
And
already set.
Yep.
I just want to throw something out here real quick because it's on my screen. I see me and Tim TK and Scott Wakefield all in a row, and I think we're all gonna die because we're all wearing red shirts. And we got the whole Star Trek thing going on, and like we're all like cannon fodder.
That's right. So you guys, I just had to let you know that you need to go down to the planet.
Thank you, Captain Thomas.
That's right. I'm gonna stay up
Forward to the
here in
transporter
the
room.
Enterprise. Yep. And work on my my comic page while you go down and take care of business.
So Keanu, this was more than 10 years ago. I think he filmed the movie in Buffalo. Rory, you were there? Remember?
Henry's Crime, yeah.
Henry's Crime. So he filmed in Buffalo, and one of the female Coast Guard members managed to go get on set. And so she comes back. She's got a picture of her with Keanu Reeves in Buffalo, and she's like, in the picture, and this is Keanu Reeves with the hands in his pockets.
Just straight face. Yeah.
That's really cool how he takes the pictures that way, right?
Yeah.
That he
never
doesn't
makes
touch
it so
anybody.
You can't
Yep.
can't get construed into any kind of weirdness or anything.
Mm-hmm.
Even if he's putting hands behind people, you can see his hand doing like this.
Yep.
So it's nope, not on his butt or anything like that. There it is.
Yep.
There's my hand.
And his Ron Garney's doing the art on that, I think.
Ooh.
I love he's like the classic comic book art. I love his stuff.
Yep.
Good stuff.
But I'm gonna say we are an hour 51, so if we haven't have any other least favorites.
Let's start wrapping up. I'm gonna do a pitch here for our Kickstarter campaign, folks. If you're
I've got to show the special thing too. So
Oh,
let's,
wait.
move
Yes.
into that.
Oh,
No, that's
we
part
have
of
special
the,
thing.
That's part of the
Okay,
Kickstarter thing.
coming up. Stay tuned because Tommy's got to show a thing. We are
thing.
currently running, if you missed at the
But
beginning,
not like Chris Evans did accidentally with his
Lord.
No.
Well, tell me about it. I didn't see it. Let's go. Let's talk about it.
Okay, so basically he put something out on Twitter and it showed his gallery from his phone, and apparently there was a male appendage personal dick pic that was like in the little square
Like his elbow?
gallery.
His elbow or something?
His
no,
unit.
no, like
Pinky
his
finger?
like
Earlobe.
he deleted it once he realized, and now people are photoshopping different things into that little square to like
That's
put
funny.
other
Oh,
things
gosh.
out there to try to like make people not be able to find the real one now, because apparently he was quite embarrassed, understandably so, because he's a very stand-up guy.
Yeah.
But yeah, so
Apparently.
yeah,
Yeah.
and I guess his brother on Monday sent out a tweet that said, "Hey, been off social media for the weekend. What did I miss?" Yeah.
Okay,
I feel bad
Tommy
for Chris on that.
not. Tommy has something comic book related. He will show us.
Okay, so we got the Kickstarter going. It's the Cat and Mouse Trump's Kickstarter going, and y'all go over to the site. We'll put the links up somewhere in the description below. That kind of business. I don't know how that works.
Yep.
But anyway, so one of the Trump's version anyway. There's the I'll put it over here so you can't see it. So I'm looking at it by myself, so you guys can see it. So it's a gold foil metallic cover that we're doing for the Trump's Kickstarter comic. So here it is. Y'all ready to see it?
Make you full screen.
So this is it. Yeah.
Look at
so,
that shine.
Ooh,
Wow.
see it's
How do you
shiny,
even
shiny.
print that? It's so much gold.
Oh, it's 14 karat. No, it's
Tommy
So-
handling each one himself.
that's right. No, actually, yeah, I did.
Did you hammer that out?
Yeah, but so there'll be so the Trump version of the book will be a metallic gold metallic. I don't know how Roland wrote it, but this is the the cover. So, of course, it's comic book size, but you know what I'm saying. So can you
Hey,
guys see it
Tommy.
really good?
Tommy,
Yes, sir?
correct me if I'm wrong. Not only is that a super cool looking cover, isn't that the first time Silverline has offered a foil color like silver
No, let's not
gold
call
cover?
it. Let's not call it full because it's not. It's a gold metallic paper.
Okay,
So
gold.
it's metallic.
Is
so
it the
it's
first
more
time
of a
that's
metal
doing a
than
metallic cover?
there. Yes, it sure is.
All
As far as
right,
that-
so
yeah.
For our collectors out there,
You see how
will
it
be
shines?
the first. So, they can grab that on Kickstarter.
Yep.
Right now. Right.
Yeah, you can buy it. You can get it in the with the reward that's got multiple things in it. And I think it's offered by itself too. So this
looks
is
sharp.
something. Yeah, it looks really good. It's nice.
Tommy, I'm
And-
jealous. You got a cool job. That's awesome that you get to see all the cool stuff beforehand.
Wait till you see some of the other cover paper that we've got hologram paper too that we're going to start doing stuff. So that
Oh, wow.
might possibly be the next Kickstarter stuff. But the metallic the hologram paper is really
Can we do
really
slap bracelets too?
Cool. We can do slap bracelets. But it's more like just paper that you're doing this with. So it's not really slap bracelets. You can like hang it on your hand like that.
An entire slapped comic.
It pops back off.
Yeah. Yes,
Whoop.
the whole comic.
My bracelet fell on the floor.
Tired of carrying a comic around? Just slap it around
Slap
your
it.
wrist.
Slap it on your thing. But and the cover that you guys see me inking here is that's the last cover that's being done. Is that people can
a lot
see
of
what
action.
we're
We did, yeah.
working on? Yeah.
That's the Stephen Butler cover.
much action.
That is a Stephen Butler. Yep. That I'm inking. I got to finish it tonight. So I guess
One
I'll
of
be
the
up to work on it.
greatest comic pencilers ever.
Yep, one of the guys that helped me break into the comic business. Him and Roland and Mitch Bird. Always give him big thumbs up.
The original 3 Silverline guys.
That's right.
Cool. That's cool. Okay, guys, we gotta start wrapping up, folks. We are on our projects, our Silverline projects right now are on Kickstarter. Go there, follow the links in the description of this video, or follow the links from our Facebook posts. We crowdfund our comic books 2 at a time every other month right now. Right now we've got Trump's #1, a 48-pager. We've got Cat and Mouse #3, a 22-page floppy. Those are both available. When you back those projects on Kickstarter, you are purchasing your comic books and you are supporting the independent comic book creators, which that's what Silverline is. All the folks here have their hand in the progress and growth of Silverlines. Yes, and we are growing, and we are very encouraged, very excited by all the stuff that we have going on, and we couldn't do it without you. We're going to wrap up. We're all going to say goodnight and tell us real quick. But before I do that, publicity-wise, we've got some of our creators and creatives are going to be out there. We're going to have folks on the Sci-Fi Diner podcast. We've got Roland on the Orlando Collector Deviants. That's tomorrow night.
Yeah, he's a deviant.
We've got Indie Volt. We're going to be on there. We're going to be on Wayne's Comic Podcast and others. And if I find my list here, I'll read those. But why don't we have? We'll start with John. You say where people can find you and how to follow you and support you.
All right. Look me up, John Medic, spelled METYCH. Facebook, also facebook.com/Beta3Comics, and you can find out more about Sniper and Rook.
Tim, go for it.
Tim TK Writer on all the socials except for TikTok, which is Tim doesn't TikTok. And I am on Twitch at AgroBacon, where I'll be going live shortly with some Destiny 2.
Oh, I'll be watching that.
Yes.
All right. Rory Boyle.
Hello, Rory Boyle, co-creator, Steam Patriots, along with our illustrious Scott Wakefield. You can find me anywhere you can find Scott at Steam Patriots. I know we're on Twitter and Instagram and LinkedIn.
Well, yeah, I mean that's my professional profile, but yeah, I share some picture stuff there.
You can find me on Scott's professional profile.
I'll mention you, Rory, and Instagram. Yeah. So, but Haley, go for it.
Right, so I'm Haley Martin. I'm the artist on bear.
Yeah,
I feel
perfect.
like I have to say it like that.
A-H, right?
Yeah, B-E-A-H. So
Okay.
bear with an H. Yeah. Yeah. So I'm on Instagram as Haley Martin Art. It's Haley is Haley, and you can also find my original webcomic that I do is heroicshenanigans.com.
Oh, cool. Thank you for that.
You have your own .com. That's so cool.
Yeah.
See Michael Lanning.
C. Michael Lanning. You can look for me on Facebook at the artist C. Michael Lanning, and also C. Michael Lanning. Drop the G, added 2 on Twitter. So.
Okay. Tommy, go for it.
Thomas Florimonte, Florimonte. If you can't figure out how to spell it, which nobody can. And I'm pretty much just everywhere. Just look for Thomas Florimonte and you'll find me. My personal website is Inferno Studios. You'll see all of my kid hero fun cartoony books that I like to work on. And I'm also, we didn't mention it, I guess I'm also co-owner of Kablam Digital Printing. So you can find me there too. But just look for Thomas at Inferno Studios Florimonte. I'm so tired. I got to finish this drums thing.
Fund the Kickstarter so we can finally let Tommy sleep.
There you go. Yeah. I got to finish this cover.
Only when we're fully funded does Tommy
get it
sleep.
colored.
My name is Scott Wakefield. I have been your humble host with this bunch of wackos. I am at Steam Patriots on Facebook and Instagram, and would love to connect on LinkedIn professionally. On LinkedIn, that's all you do on LinkedIn. And appreciate you watching the show, supporting Silverline and independent comics. Go back our Kickstarter campaign for whatever amount you can. Buy a comic book.
There's all kind of original art in there and everything.
There's some great pages in there.
Tons of good stuff. You can still we read the comments on these this Facebook post once it's up there. We do our best to respond. Roland is awesome about getting back to you guys, but we always welcome your questions, your input, and that is all we have. So make mine Silverline, and good night, everybody.
Good night.
Good night.